Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you again for joining me for my weekly forecast. We are going to be looking into the week of October 25th to November 1st and see what's happening and what kind of trends that we see that can happen to us this week. Now, these are just very generalized readings for the collective, and it is not sign specific. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, and this week we're going to use Lenormand and Kipper cards, and let's see what we got going on. Give me one moment. All right. All right. We're going to do our typical 5 card spread. There we go. We have mice, mountain, whip, sun, and then the bird. So far I see this could be a difficult week ahead for some of you. Definitely being very busy in the whip card, very busy in the whip card, a lot of discussions and debates and some arguing. So some of you are going to have a tough week ahead. With Mice and Mountain, this just really feels to me like anxieties can be building in some of you. You know, the anxiety and stresses can be mounting and piling up. And for some of you, I literally see this as like cleaning house, doing cleaning and just being very busy in and around your households. Like a lot of stuff has been piling up for you, and it's time to get to work. I almost kind of get that feeling like a lot of you, there's just a mountain of work that needs to be done, and there's this push to get to it because it's been stressing you out all maybe things have gotten in the way and obstacles and just things kind of delaying your progress here. But I see this week some of you just starting to really pick away and work at things. But the good news is that you'll be able to achieve whatever goals that you're trying to finish up or complete this week. Because the sun means success, it brings happiness, it brings joy. So I really see a lot of reward in jobs that are, you know, worked really hard on. So kind of like you get the reward after you've done the heavy work. But I do feel that for some of you, like I said, there's been some sort of issues come up that's kind of prevented and blocked your way to doing these things. Now the last card here is the birds. And again, we keep getting birds every week. I mean, I pull the birds the last 3 weeks in a row. And again, it just goes to more chatter, gossiping, you know, the media, social media, So for some of you, you guys will receive some good news this coming week by way either telephone calls, text messaging through social media. But I do see the week starting off on a rockier front for some of you, where anxieties, for some of you, you may be dealing with a lot of worry, stresses, and anxiety, and they're building up. Or in some cases, sometimes your anxiety stops you and blocks some of you from achieving some sort of a goal, whether that's health related or work related, relationship related. And again, the whip tells you got to keep doing it. It's almost like you have to keep trying. If at first you don't succeed, try again to get over some of these hurdles that are holding some of you back here in this. Now, some of you will have some worrying conversations or some stressful conversations this week coming for you. Some of you will be very stressed out by some gossip or some news or even by media. Any type of news or messages that come to you could cause a lot of stress and anxiety for some of you. But for others, like I said, this could be, this could even be seeking therapy, or going to an anxiety therapist, or talking about your anxieties to someone who's trained or a professional. Um, so a lot of you have a lot of work ahead of you to do this week, and some of you, I feel it's more on a mundane level, like cleaning house, getting work done that perhaps you haven't been getting to and been putting off. Some of you will be highly successful in achieving these goals and catching up on work, and some of you will be highly anxious. So it's a mixed bag this week. I see it to one extreme to the next for some of you. So some of you are going to just have a week where you get on top of things you've been putting off and you feel great and everything's good. And other of you, I feel some of you have been letting your anxieties kind of block your way at achieving some type of goals or some things that you've been wanting to do and put off. But for those of you who are suffering from that problem, it's time to really work hard and keep repeating and repeating and repeating. And I almost get in my head like this sense of, if people's anxieties are really high and you've been holding back, say, going outside or getting out because you have fear of the virus. And this is just an example that now it's time to work on it. It's kind of like exposure therapy, just keep repeating it. But this applies to anything that you've been feeling anxious and stressful about. It's time to face the music, so to speak, and you got to keep trying and trying and trying and trying. And then there's those of you that might get into some very public debates and arguments online. That's the other thing I'm also kind of picking up. And this is why we do a collective reading, because it covers a lot of areas that some of you may be um, dealing with. But the sun is here. Always remember, the sun comes out eventually. So um, by week's end, I kind of see it like things start calming down and settling down for some of you there. All right, so let's get on to the Kipper portion. And the Kipper, I'm just going to pull 3 for this. The Kipper card. Yeah, I feel that this coming week is going to be a very busy week for a lot of you. All right, we have concern, pathway, and expectation. So a lot of you are going to be very, very concerned about the directions and choices and decisions you have to make this week. But some of you have an expectation of an outcome, and this can either help or hinder some of you. When we have decisions we have to make, sometimes we imagine what the outcome is going to be if we pick road A over road B. And sometimes, again, that anxiety can come in and stop you. There's not a lot of movement cards here, so I see a lot of you are still in that contemplative state, worried. Maybe worried about what direction and decisions you have to go down or make. But putting that expected outcome to it. Try not to do that. Try to go with the flow instead of having certain expectations, because that can lead to disappointment. So just keep your mind open. But definitely think about the direction you want to go to and the pathways here. But don't try to put a for surety on what you're expecting. Okay, kind of keep your mind open and to the different ways that the road may take you. But the big message I'm getting is feeling very concerned about some decisions and options and what road you need to go down, but having that expectation. Some of you could be literally waiting on some news before you can make a decision. So some of you are actually waiting for something that will help determine which pathway that you'll go down. Again, very temporary energy, and I feel like, again, at the end, people will get the much needed clarity they need by week's end. So this is what um, the cards are for the week ahead for you guys. Now, if you guys have any comments or concerns, definitely post a comment below. Or if you're just lurking and watching the weeklies, that's fine too. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and post all of these, and I hope you guys have a very good week despite some of the, you know, conflict and some debates for some of you. But just know that as long as you keep trying and pushing ahead, that you will succeed. All right, thanks again for watching. See you next week.